And we're back once again, ladies and gentlemen, only on, it is Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Blue Wire Hustle Network YouTube channel. Now, joining me here on the line, it's simple. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. I give you the UFC Flyweight Champion. I give you Brandon Moreno. Brandon, this is a story that Disney couldn't write. You get into the UFC after winning Tough Enough. You struggle. You win some fights, you lose some fights, you get cut. They bring you back. They then nearly cut the whole division. And then after a draw with a champion, you come back and finish him in the rematch. How much are you still on cloud nine? I mean, are you still pinching yourself going, okay, I didn't see this happening here?
Man, first of all, thank you so much for the space. I really appreciate your time. And, I know what a life I have. What a roller coaster, because yes, I mean, a lot of really good moments, but a lot of bad moments too. But I really believe the good moments aren't like more for so far. So it's part of this, it's part of the, the discipline, the sacrifice. I'm not that champion who is, undefeated. I know I'm not Khabib with 29-0. I need to. I had some mistakes in my journey, but at the end of the day, right now I'm the champion, and that's the most important thing.
Take me to the fight. Like, when did you start realizing you could finish him? Because the first fight was a draw, and it was nip and tuck. A lot of people thought, okay, he might win the rematch, and yet going into that fight, you had an air of confidence of, hey, I'm going to win this. This is my timeout. This is when I'm going to finish him. What made you realize, okay, I can finish him. I can get it that rear naked choke and just, choke him out.
Man, to be honest, everything was about confidence. So the first fight was a real war. Like fight of the year contender. Everybody was so happy that night. I remember that moment. Dana was very happy with my performance, obviously with the performance of Figueiredo too. But I was talking with Dana after the fight, and he said like, "Hey, amazing performance! Congratulations! Enjoy your family, enjoy your Christmas. See you next year for the rematch." That was special for me. So again, the confidence. I was very confident of my performance because I was prepared for another war. It was necessary in that moment. Obviously, you always want to win the fight in the first, second round, and go early to your hotel with your family, with your friends, and enjoy all night. But sometimes that doesn't happen. You need to go to another war and throw punches for 25 minutes. But this fight, I was ready. I was ready to die. It was necessary to get the victory, to get the belt. And I finished the fight in the third round. When I'm start very fast. I'm start very explosive. And Figueiredo, I think he never make some adjustment, a really good adjustment in the fight to put me in some troubles. In the second round, he take me down early in the round, but I put him on bottom two. That's it, man. I mean, the confidence. I was very confident to get that victory. Obviously, always the experts, the guys in the media are talking about his predictions, who will win the next fight, and Figueiredo was the favorite. But in my mind, I was the champion even before to go to the octagon.
It's funny. One of the things I was impressed with was the striking, and I'm looking here. Early, in the rounds, it's not just headshots. It's body shots. It's combinations. It's you're not letting him just get that rhythm. How much of that have you worked on in terms of small stuff? Everybody works on their wrestling. Everybody works on their striking. How much for you was this about fight IQ? Setting things up. Laying traps. How big was this fight in terms of, all right, I'm going to be a smarter fighter. I'm going to work on just the small stuff.
I mean, talking about the game plan, my team and I, we saw his last fights. he always put pressure. He wants to intimidate you and put pressure, be aggressive since the first round. But in the moment when some other fighter put him in back in the octagon, to try needed to go back in the fight. He he looks uncomfortable, and that was the game plan. Be very aggressive, be very sharp. uh, I think he never even started in the fight, because since the first round, I started with everything, very fast, very strong, very explosive, put pressure on him, always go forward, never go back, and that was the key of the victory. And obviously, I mean, definitely the key of the victory was my confidence, but talking about the game plan was that, was very sharp with my combinations, and I was better with the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu too. So right now, I really believe my striking is really good, even in general, in the UFC in general. My jiu-jitsu, my wrestling is always there. That is my background. So man, right now I feel on fire.
We're gonna go back to this in a bit. Take me to the future now, because you're the face of Mexican MMA right now. I mean, UFC, they want to make a big push. Monster Energy, your sponsor, they want to make a big push. All these people who are sponsoring you have for years wanted to make that push into Mexico, Latin America, and they never had that star. You're now the star. You're now the champ. How much pressure is there on you to not just win fights, but also, be a spokesman, be a thespian, be a guy that is the perfect role model for everybody who's backing you, because you're now the face of what they want to do.
Man, I mean, talking about the Monster, that is a dream come true. Everybody knows Monster, and everybody wanna get a sponsor from Monster, but I know if the guy who has a sponsor from Monster is because the guy is real, it's a real fighter, it's a real MMA athlete, at least in this sport, talking about mixed martial arts. So man, that is a dream come true. And definitely I'm excited to be the face of Mexico, because we have a really good exponents of the sport, in my country, Pantera Rodriguez, Irene Aldana, Alex Agrasso, Muriel Benitez, a lot of guys. But I think right now I'm doing the all my stuff very well, and I I have my goal right now is to put the mixed martial arts in Mexico in another level. I remember when Cain Velasquez went bring the UFC in 2014 with the UFC 180. All the sport changed and put the mixed martial arts in my country in another level. Now with the belt, me with the belt, I really believe I can do something more, and I'm excited to watch what can I do.
How tough is it trying to get people to do MMA? Because boxing is still king. I mean, you talk Mexican combat sports, and the off tongue you just roll off. Antonio Barrera, Canelo Alvarez, Jesus Chavez Sr. You can go, Eric Morales. You go Juan,
Juan Manuel Marquez, yeah.
Manuel Marquez. All these guys. You're the first now. So how tough has it been for you trying to, get this younger generation to go, no, boxing is good, but MMA, we're now the rising tide. We're now, you got to check out MMA because Mexico has now a champion.
I mean, Mexico has a really huge culture of combat sports. Obviously, the first one is boxing. We have a lot of champions, world champions. For example, in the Olympic Games, we have a lot of gold medals in Taekwondo, for example. So we are good throwing punches. Obviously, the mixed martial arts is a new sport because it's not just to throw punches. It's about the wrestling. It's about the Brazilian jiu-jitsu for in general, talking about the mixed martial arts. So it's a new sport for all my country. It's we are in the correct way to make something good for this sport in Mexico. We need still we need to still working about that. But man, I mean, I really believe we can do really good in the sport, because the Mexicans, we are very good in the combat sports, definitely. I not just Mexico, I mean Latin America in general.
how much does it mean to you now that people, they look up to you? I mean, you're now becoming what most athletes aren't. You're a role model. I mean, to most young kids now in Latin America, Mexico, who are trying to do MMA, and they've always looked at, well, it's an American sport. Well, it's a Brazilian sport. Well, it's a, a European sport. You're the guy. You're the guy that's broken through the glass ceiling. You're the guy that people can go, he did it. He's the first champion. Now we can follow along. It gets the ball rolling here. How much do you enjoy being a role model to all these young kids who are looking for that inspiration, to be that guy they can go, this is our role model. This is our Canelo. This shows we can do it.
Man, I'm so happy for that, and I'm very grateful with the life because, I mean, obviously Mexico will have just one first champion, and that guy it's me, and that's made me feel so happy. Definitely, I know right now I'm a role model for a lot of different generations. It's weird to me to talk about generations because I'm very young. I'm 27 years old, but I know my position. I know my position right now. I feel, a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, I really, really believe I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to be that guy who other generations can see and say, "Hey, I can do something in this sport just like that, just like that guy." And I'm ready, man. I'm at first I do this for me, not for my own goals, for to be the best. But man, my family, my daughters, my wife, my parents, all the people support me around the world, not just in Mexico. But man, right now I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I want to do something for the sport in Mexico, and I know I can do that.
I'm watching the interview where you win the title, and your wife comes in, your daughter comes in, you have, I believe, your sister comes in, and it's just tears. I mean, everybody starts crying. There's hugging here. Were they more excited than you almost because they were there? They were there when you got the letter saying, "Hey, you're cut from the UFC. You're not part of the organization." They were there when you came back from the Ultimate Fighter. I'm guessing you were dinged up and banged up because everybody is at that damn competition. They were there during the tough weight cuts. The bruises, having to walk up, the flight of stairs. I'm guessing after cutting maybe 30, 35
Yeah.
pounds. How much did it mean to them that you made it? That they were part of this whole journey. They got to see you get to the end and achieve your goal this whole journey.
Man, actually, I mean, even in the interview with Joe Rogan, when he started to talk with me and say, "Hey, you are the new champion of the world. Congratulations." I'm start to watch my belt and start to remember all that you say. Like, man, the sacrifices, the discipline, all the time when I lost fights, when I had bad moments in my life, man, actually that night was very emotional. Everybody cried that night. It's funny because a lot of people, when I start to talk with them, and we start to talk about the fight, last Saturday, they say something like, "Hey, man, that was very emotional. Made me cry that night." Like, and I say something like, "Yeah, it's fine. Everybody cried that night. It was very nice. It was very emotional." But yeah, man, again, holding the belt, watching the belt, I'm start to remember all the sacrifices, and dream come true, definitely.
Last question to let you go. Where do you go from here? I mean, because I know that you want Henry Cejudo. You're trying to make that happen here. He seems to be on doing, I guess, a year long tour of doing Henry Cejudo. I know Devison Figueroa. He wants a shot. Cody Garbrandt. That's a big money fight. What is your goal? If you could make any fight, you could walk a thing. Go, Dana, this is what the fight we'll make it. Dana goes, okay, we'll make it. Give me the one fight you're looking at going, I want this fight. This is my Waterloo. This is the fight I've been dreaming about, thinking about. I want this fight because I damn well need it.
No, man, it's nothing personal with anybody. I say Henry Cejudo because other guys in the interviews ask me about them, and I say like he's a possibility, of course, because he's a former champ and he never lost his belt in the octagon, you know. So that's why I say his name, but it's nothing personal. I know the Cody Garbrandt is there. I know the trilogy with Figueiredo is there. I know Oscar Askarov against Alex Perez. The winner can be a possibility too. So the winner is there. And man, I love, I love how the people love me because I never need needed to do like to say something bad about other fighters, or use trash talk, and I hate trash talk, to be honest. And the people love me even with that, I don't need to talk bad about other fighters, and I love it. But talking about the sport, talking about my next fight, man, I'm ready. Right now I'm trying to get some vacations, to spend time with my family, with my daughters, because we need some good memories for us. But after that, I mean, I'll be ready. I'll be ready for Cody, for Oscar, for the trilogy, for everybody.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, the champ is here. He is the new
Yeah.
UFC Flyweight Champion from Mexico. I give you it is Brandon Moreno. Brandon, before I let you go, where can fans check you out at? The Twitter page, Instagram, the website. Where can fans hit you up at?
Man, so I don't have Twitter. Too much hate there, too much pain, and so no Twitter for me. I You can find me in my Instagram, the Assassin Baby, or in my fan page in Facebook, Brandon the Assassin Baby Moreno. You can find me there. I'm more active in Instagram, to be honest, but I'm posting almost every single day. So check us out.
Brandon Moreno, ladies and gentlemen, we are once again honored to have the champ on the show. Stay tuned, vote for more great action coming up once again only on It Is Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol only on the Blue Wire Hustle YouTube channel.